Good morning, viewers. Jai Hind. This is our second session. The first session was on day before yesterday, in which I had informed you about the number of SSBs and the first day activities in the SSB. Today I shall be covering the second day activities, that is psychological tests. But before the psychological tests, I want to tell you the background of these tests. Every SSB has a motto and inscribed at its door, that is Mansa, Vacha, Karmana. These are the three tests: Mansa, psychological tests; Vacha, your interview; and Karmana, your GTO test. Now the question comes, where from these Mansa, Vacha, Karmana has come from and why it has come. So Mansa, Vacha, Karmana is first taken and first informed to us or told to us in way back thousands of years. Mansa, Vacha, Karmana is a verse, is a aphoria in Mahasubhasitani, the verse number 8921. And aphoria, as I said, is a small concise statement of principles, and these principles are adopted by us due to the intellectual property, due to the intellect of our forefathers, which they had researched and have come to a conclusion that these are the words and phrases to be followed in life. And one more thing, that is Mansa, Vacha, Karmana, Manas Ekam, Vachas Ekam, Karmanevekam, Tathapi Mahatmanam. The meaning is, once there is a cohesion, there is a unity, there is a consolidation, and between your manas, that is your thought process, vachas, that is your what you speak, and karmana, your actions. And when they are in unification and unity, that presents a correct picture of your character. And here the SSB is the test of your character. So these are the buzzwords, these are the soul of the SSB interview. Always keep in mind that what you think forms your words. What you speak, or be careful about your words, because your words translate into the actions. Be watchful of your actions, because they form your habits. Be watchful of your habits, because they form your character. And be watchful of your character, because it forms your destiny, and destiny determines what you will be there in your life. So this is the very reason that why Mansa, Vacha, Karmana is the buzzword for all the SSB. So during this SSB, if you are consistent in all these things, you will be able to pass through, you will be able to make it. But to understand it, there is a mechanism designed There are systems developed, as I said, to test a candidate who becomes a responsible and commissioned officer of armed forces. It is very essential that right person is chosen, is selected for the right job. It's a coveted job, and for this job, the system in place is time tested and it has proved its worth. For all these mechanisms, on the second day to test your psychology, there are 4 steps. There are 4 steps. The first is TAT, that is thematic appreciation test. In this test, previously in PPDT, there was only one picture slide shown to the candidates. But here, during TAT, you are shown 12 slides. In those 12 slides, each slide is shown to you for 30 seconds, and then you have to write a story in next 3 minutes. Remember one thing and observe the things which are there in the picture. How many characters are there? What is the age of the characters? What is the mood? What is the theater? What is the activity going on? And for this, you have to imagine constructively that there has been a past and there is a present which is there in the slide, and there will be a future. The hero in your story is nothing, is none, but it's you, because you are the person who is framing this story, whose ideas are being depicted. So be careful and be truthful, be watchful. And during this, you have to write the story constructively, conclude it on a positive note. It should be relevant to your age, relevant to the task you are looking for, relevant to the job. Because irrelevant story, as the people say, cock and bull story or the irrelevant, it carries no meaning. Once you have the constructive ideas, positive ideas, you will be writing a better story. You will be understanding it and you will be presenting your true self. Here, one more thing, that is time. If you start thinking, if you are not original, if you are not becoming original and your original thoughts are framed, then you tend to go short of time. The time paucity is deliberate. The tests are designed so that the real self of the candidate comes out. What is there in your subconscious mind, it has to come out. That is the real self. Because people tend to adopt a mask, and these tests are designed in a manner where there is no mask. Your original self comes out on the paper. And the assessors who are there in the SSBs, they are trained, experienced, and they can see through the candidate, through their words, what they have written. So these stories are not the stories just to read. These are to assess your character. These are to assess your thoughts. So these 11 stories, 11 slides will come one by one. So after 30 seconds, one slide goes off, you write your story, and automatically after 3 minutes, another slide comes up. In that slide, again, you write a story. Thereafter, the next slide comes. After 3 minutes, it will remain there for 30 seconds. You write a story. Thus, 11 slides are coming with some picture. These pictures are hazy. And the ignorant candidates complain that why these pictures are hazy. Why cannot be the clear picture? The hazy picture is advantageous to you because it gives wings to your imagination. If something very, very clear is shown on the slide, then the stories are likely to be common. But here the perception plays a greater role. Every individual sees the same slide but has different perceptions, and that perception that is in form of output, that is your story. So after the 11 slides, you complete your 11 stories. The 12th slide is a blank one. The 12th slide is a blank one. Why it is blank? Because it is your conscious mind, what you aspire, what you want to become in your life, what is there running in your mind, that story you write. And once you write that story, it will be in consonance, it will be in line with all the 11 stories you have written previously. It cannot happen that the 11 stories, these 11 stories also not wayward, they are designed by the experts. In all your stories, write it clearly, and the most important thing is how do you associate the obsess-like quality, the 15 qualities you bring in your story while writing it. They should be relevant, there should be proper planning, there should be socialization, there should be cooperation, there should be initiative, there should be courage, there should be stamina, and socialization, of course. So, in each story, you cannot put all the qualities, but in the bunch of stories, you will be able to cover all the 15 qualities multiple times. Multiple times. So, candidates, after this test, the 12th slide, as I said, it is blank. Your story will be as per your aspirations, what you want to become in your future life. So after you have completed all your stories, that is TAT, Thematic Appreciation Test, I want to tell you that time paucity is due to bring out your subconscious mind, your thoughts in subconscious mind. Here I would like to draw some similarity. The human character is like spices. Yes, I said spices. मसाले जो घर में होते हैं किचन में. When the spices are there in your kitchen, the odor doesn't come out. Like chili, cardamom, और जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि धनिया, जीरा, ये सारी चीज़ें जब किचन में रखी होती हैं तो उनमें कोई स्मेल नहीं होती. बट व्हेन यू क्रश देम, जब आप उनको पीसते हैं तो उनमें सुगंध आती है, उनकी नेचुरल सुगंध आती है. Similarly, when a person is subjected to pressure, In that pressure situation, the real character of a person comes out, and that fragrance of your thoughts, that comes out. So this pressure is deliberate one to bring out your original self. So do not worry about that. Your original things will come out and you will be revealed what you are. So after that TAT test, that is TAT, once you have written the stories, your papers are collected and the assessors assess them and they will be with them. After some rest, the next test comes, that is VAT. That is VAT, W-A-T, Word Association Test. These words are not randomly picked up words, not ordinary words. Though these words are common in nature, but they are designed in a manner wherein how do you associate them, they show what values you hold. What is your perception about things? Maybe about your nation, society, family, freedom, blood, property, rights, duties, discipline, school, likewise. These are the words, when you are required to make a sentence out of them. Sentence or a phrase. Write your first thought. That is your original thought. For two reasons. First thing, your original thought is the best thought and it should be your original one. And if you start altering your thoughts, it takes time. And why should you alter your thoughts? But the moment you start altering your thoughts, you will be running out of time. You won't be able to complete the sentences in time, and you will be missing out a few words. You will definitely miss a few words. And the words are not to be missed. But if you are blind, if you do not know anything about that word, you may leave it blank. But these words are simple words. You associate them with the normal sentences. These are the 60 words. 60 words are shown one by one. A word is shown that is reflected on a slide and it will be visible on the screen for 15 seconds. For 15 seconds. These words are 60 words. These words are 60 words. And in these 60 words, once they are finished, then your your WAT test is over. Your WAT test is over. In your WAT test, once again, I will clarify that word meaning should be brought out with your associate. How do you associate that word in your thoughts? There are a few do's and don'ts which I'll be covering subsequently, but I am here right now only explaining the procedure, what we will be subjected to during your SSB, and particularly today about your psychological test. As I said, these psychological tests are of 4 types. The first one, as I said, is TAT, WAT, WAT, and then comes your SRT, situational reaction test. Situational reaction test. In this situational reaction test, there is a situation given. There is a situation given, and this SRT is not shown on the slide. It is given in a paper. It's given in a paper. And in that question paper, there are 60 SRTs, situational reaction test. In one SRT, you should be writing your response that of 1 or 2 sentences. Maximum there can be 3, but 2 sentences will be ideal. 2 sentences will be ideal. Because if you start writing more, then again you will be running out of time and you will be missing out some of the SRTs. Generally it is seen that the recommended candidates or a normal candidate, they are able to complete excuse me, say about 50 SRTs. Say about 50 SRTs. If you can complete 60, that is ideal. But you cannot afford to write or respond less than 40. And also, my advice will be that all the SRTs should be answered serially, because they are situations. And if a situation is given to you, you are expected to address that situation. You are to give your response to that situation, because you cannot avoid a situation and move forward. Some reaction has to be offered to each situation, because if a SRT is given to you that you are there in a theater watching a movie, and if there is a fire, then what will be your reaction? You have to react. You have to give your reaction. You cannot skip that. It will be construed as you are evading the situation and moving to the easier situations. One is not expected to be in the comfort zone. You have to come out your comfort zone, because in your comfort zone you cannot have everything, you cannot achieve everything. You have to come out your comfort zone. So each situation should be reacted. You may not be able to complete all the SRTs, that is 60 SRTs in half an hour. So if you divide equally for each SRT, the time allocation or the time available is 30 seconds. But if you are an avid reader, which you are supposed to be, read it, understand it, and give your first response. That is your original response. My piece of advice here would be pragmatic, be practical in your approach, be practical, react to the situation in a practical manner as a normal person reacts. Follow these principles, bring out those OLQs. Those OLQs, if you are practicing, they will be seen through. They will be your organizing ability, your intelligence, your socialization, your leadership, your initiative, resource management, your stamina, your courage, your liveliness, all the things will be visible to the psychologist in those responses of the situational reaction test. These questions once again are of simple nature, but they are designed in a manner that your traits of your personality will be seen. It will be visible. There should not be any distortion. There has to be a consistency. If you are showing courage, you cannot show courage at one place and be cowardice at another place. You have enough stamina at one place and tiring so quickly and fishy at another place. You are well planned in one place and lackluster at another. That consistency should be the core of your SRT in all your reactions. As I said, these SRTs should be responded serially, and if you are not able to make it to all the 60s SRTs, you should be at least going towards 50s. That is, if you are able to complete 50 SRTs in 30 seconds time allotted, it's fair enough. It's fair enough. So, in this SRT, your responses should be your first response. Consistency is the word. The OLQs should be visible, and the number, as I said, should be touching 50 plus. The fourth one, after having completed your TAT test, that is thematic appreciation test, your WAT, that is word association test, and the third one is SRT, your situational reaction test. The fourth one is little different in nature. The fourth one is a little different in nature, that is SDT, self description test. Here you have time to think. You will be asked to write what your parents think about you. What your parents think about you. The second one, what your teachers think about you. What your friends think about you. And what do you think about you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? So, in all these 4 tests, the mechanism is made in such a way that your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your inner self is brought forth, and your true character is revealed in all these psychological tests. So, 3 things are revealed: what is there in your conscious mind, what is there in your subconscious mind, and what is there in your inner self. So, SDT, the fourth one, is for your conscious mind. So, once the conscious mind is revealed, what do we want to see through this? We want to see your aspirations, what you want to be in life. Through the conscious mind, this is checked what you want to be, because you will be writing what your parents think. As the saying goes, the charity begins at home. If somebody is responsible at home, he or she will be responsible outside as well, or likely to be. But if somebody is irresponsible, if the parents, they are the best judge of their offsprings, of their children, and the opinion of your parents matters a lot, because that opinion will be a true one. That opinion will be a true one. And 4 different values. Parents are at an upper stage, what they think about you. Your teachers, the educators, what they think about you. Your friends, that means your peer group, your liveliness is checked in this. So, in all these things, if about your parents think about you, your responsibility factor is checked. How responsible you are. If your parents think you are a responsible person, reliable person, takes part in the family matters, can give useful, can contribute usefully, sharing responsibility, showing concern, upholding values, these things are checked in this factor. What your teachers think about you, you have to write 5 to 8 lines. 5 to 8 lines. You can stretch up to 10 lines. You can stretch up to 10 lines, and that description will be fair enough to reveal what are the values in you. So what your teachers think about you, what the assessor wants to see in that. How disciplined you are, how keen learner you are, what is your trainability factor, what are the values. So these factors are checked, what your teachers think about you. Here one may imagine that I can frame the answers. Candidates, I want to make it pretty clear to you, if your response is not original, you will be subjected and you will be seen through. It will be visible during the course of your 5 days stay at the SSB. The questions are framed in a manner that whatever you write by yourself will not be substantiated, will not be vouched, will not be in consonance if your answers to these questions are framed one. So be truthful, be fair, be original while writing anything and everything. It is checked and rechecked. What you say, is that correct? Your thought process, manas, vachas and karmana. If all these things are consistent, going together in coherence, that means the candidate is of right perspective, with the right frame of mind and is a consistent character or a true character. But falsehood doesn't hold any doubt. So after completing two reactions, that is what your parents think about it, what your teachers think about it, about you, and now what your friends think about you. Why friends? What your, so each thing are testing different traits, different qualities. What your friends think about you, that narrates how lively you are, how reliable you are. Are you a team man? Are you cooperative? Are you an extrovert or introvert? Because a person makes friend when he is friendly in nature, when meeting out with the people, sharing the ideas, sharing the thoughts. But if somebody is in himself or herself, then no friends. If you are a team man, share the ideas, cooperative, liveliness, you will be popular in your friends. You will be more and more wanted in the team, and you will be able to make a good friend. And if you are able to make a good friend, you are able to make a team, your socialization. And the fourth one is, what do you think about yourself? Feel yourself lucky. Feel yourself energetic. Feel yourself aspiring. If a person thinks himself, bad luck, or other negative thoughts, your body language, your dreams, your energy, your attitude, and your aptitude, and your vision towards life will be affected. And if you are a positive person, you have aspirations, you are energetic, your positive attitude, that will take you a long way. Life is all about your aspirations. Have big dreams. Of course, they are required to be substantiated with hard work and sincere hard work. So these tests are your psychological tests. They are designed in a manner to bring out your real personality, and this is on day 2. And time and again, during my conversation or during my lecture, I have been saying that be truthful. You must have seen what is the national logo or motive of our nation. That is Satyamev Jayate. Satyamev Jayate. सत्य की ही जीत होती है. Truth only prevails. Truth only trumps. Truth is victory. Why? And where this phrase has come from? In our national emblem, Satyamev Jayate is inscribed beneath it. This is found in Sarnath Stupa. But from where this Sarnath Stupa, this has taken from? So Satyameva Jayate is first described in Mandakopanishad. And in our, as a national motto, in our constitution, we have adopted Satyameva Jayate. But this is first in the modern history. It is introduced by Mahamana Madan Mohan Malviya on 31st of August 1918 during his second tenure as President Indian National Congress. The history of this I am giving you is, these are the time tested, these are the aphorism, concise statement with a principle. As Mansa Vacha Karmana, so is Satyamev Jayate. These words or these phrases are not simple ones. They have the principles. They are time tested. There is no deviation into it. So that is the very reason why we should be following Satyamev Jayate, because that only prevails. The truth only prevails. And when the truth only prevails, why should we going to lies which are not worth? They will be revealed. So there is no point that at any stage of your SSB interview, you are relying or turning towards the lies. Be truthful, because truth only prevails. In psychological tests, to be truthful will only help you, because at any stage, if you are going towards the lies, you will be perished. You will be perished, because the psychologist will catch you immediately, or a normal person catch it, that that person is lying. So be truthful, and that is the second day test, psychological test, comprising of 4 things. To revamp, I would say PAT, thematic appreciation test, that is, pictures are shown on the slides, 11 slides, and 12th one is a blank one. Writing a story, that is TAT. VAT, 60 words, 15 seconds each, and write 1 sentences or a phrase to bring out how do you associate, that is your values. And the third one is, the first one is TAT, second one is VAT, third one is SRT. Give your responses to a situation in 2 or 3 sentences, that is 60 SRTs in half an hour, 30 seconds each. And then SDT, self description test, at 4 stages. What your parents think about you, different qualities are checked through this, your conscious mind is checked into this, and what your teachers think about you, what your friends think about you, and what you yourself think about you, what is your aspiration, what you want to be. In all these tests, your psychology is tested. Be truthful, that is the code of the or the essence of this game. So with this, I have finished on this subject. Now I will be taking upon the questions. The question before me is, sir, are there extra marks for logical and planned action in SRT? Of course, anything done in a meticulous manner, that catches the eye of the psychologist. Out of the box thinking, if you are thinking traditionally, it's okay, but out of the box thinking, innovative ideas, initiative, your planning and the execution. The most important thing in your SRT is how your action is planned, how it is initiated, how the resources are managed, and how you conclude this on a positive note. Yes, it will have the weightage. It will have the weightage. The second question is, what can friends tell about us? The friends can is an interesting question. During the SDT, as I said, your liveliness, your reliability. Here, one thing I want to tell you is, your siblings or my siblings are there by chance. If somebody is my brother, somebody is my sister, I cannot have a say on this. There is no choice. But the friend I have chosen is by my choice. He is the person whom I have picked up because of similarity in nature, maybe similarity in age, maybe similarity in ideas and likings. So best thing in the world is a friend. A true friend is a gift. You can share anything and everything with your friend. So friendship is a boon, and friendship can tell so many things which others do not know, because that intimacy is there, reliability is there, that bonding is there, that faith is there, and the most important thing is, it is not by chance, it is by choice. The next question, the terms extrovert versus introvert explained. So introvert and extrovert. In military service, a person is liked, or a person is warranted or desired to be an extrovert, because an introvert is a person who remains in himself or herself, not so much open, not a team man, can perform at his own. But an extrovert person is reaching out to the people, is a team man, is a fun-loving person, is an outdoor person, and military activities are essentially outdoor activities. You will be agreeing with me that in military, no one person can perform a task. It's a team game, a cooperation, and for that a person is required to be extrovert. So extrovert, reaching out to the people, looking outside the world, outside himself to the world, and an introvert person looking inside, aloof, alone, and thinking in a concise manner. So that is the more difference between extrovert and introvert. An extrovert person is warranted in military services. The next question is, can we prepare SRD through a book? You can practice, you can have examples of SRD through a book, but for original responses, you have to be practical, you have to be pragmatic, and your responses should be natural as per the situation. And in books, the reactions are prototypes. They are particular to a person, but are they befitting to your personality? That is a matter to be seen. So SRTs only per se, you can read them, you can see what type of SRTs you are going to have. But the responses that have to be yours, your original one, and while answering the situation or reacting to the situation, be original, be true to your character, and be true to the situation. Any more questions? I think we'll call it a day, and that is the second day of SSB, that is psychological tests. I have covered this, taken a few questions. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you viewers for listening me patiently. Thank you.